Okay, so here we are, men's vets first up this afternoon. So we have Heat 3. In berth 1 we have got Brew, who are Burnham-on-Sea. In berth 2 we have Goose, which is Porlock Weir. In berth 3 we have Swift, which is Rock. Berth 4 we have Pegasus, Brixham. Berth 5, Morleda, which is a Penryn boat, but it's got a Torridge crew in it this afternoon. In berth 6 we've got Templar, which is the Teen. In berth 7 we've got Faith with Devon. In berth 8 we've got Grace O'Malley, who is from Affinity. In berth 9 we have Christine H, who is from Clavelli. I'm getting better on my Cornish pronunciation there. In berth 10 we have got Shelley May. Now I do apologise, I haven't got a club written down for that one. Ghost Crew, we believe. Berth 11 we have got Volt, which is a St Goran boat. In berth 12, right, I've got some time here to read this. My Johannes Morlanron. Do you think I'm anywhere close, Joby? No. Okay, all right. Still looking for someone to come and help us with that pronunciation. Berth 13, we've got Seven Spirit, which is Portishead, and then berth 14, we've got Iceni, which is the Awesome Crew. So this is the men's vets, Joby. Obviously, Heat 3, what we're looking for here is we're just looking for positions, really, and pride, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. None of these can get to the final tomorrow, so yeah, place as high as they can, and then get in the pub, as I keep saying. I think that's it. So yeah, it'd be good to see if there's some battles. It'd be nice if we get a bit of close racing. And see where they get to. And then there's only 3 heats of these, so from the second one we got a little bit more pressure on that. You want to be in the top 2 of the second one. Then obviously the third heat today is all about staying in it. But yeah, this one's just about racing. Hopefully we got some good close racing as we see, and yeah, we'll see where we go. We got a bit of a mix again from all over the place. I don't know where a lot of these places are, but we've got a bit of a mix all up and down the country, which is good to see. And
also we're very much looking forward to seeing what's going to happen at the top end of this heat, because there was a little bit of controversy last year at Brixham at the counties when Falmouth veterans men were disqualified, and Carradon managed to snag both the first and the second position. So as good friends as Falmouth and Carradon are off the water, I'm sure on the water those Falmouth boys have got a little bit of a mission on their hands here.
Yeah, I mean, for us non-Falmouth and Carradon rowers, it's like the lesser of 2 evils, which one you want to win these. But no, 2 big clubs, 2 really successful clubs, and it'll be interesting. I think, we saw in the first one of the men's vets, Carradon went away really nicely. I had a quick chat with Ferg on the beach. He said they maybe didn't have the best start, or they didn't think their line was quite right, but we'll be in the heats here, and maybe see how close they are, but we'd expect Carradon and Falmouth to have a good battle. And we've got that mixed up silly crew in there. We've got the Bude crew that did really well on that Agnes race. It'd be interesting to see if they maintain that in the sort of sprint distance. So yeah, could be interesting in the top one here.
I think Bude could be the dark horses of this, actually, because I thought their rowing was, I thought they were really together, and they were superb. So yeah, that'd be interesting. But anyway, we are turning our attentions to Heat 3 here, and we are watching the men's vets come in. So we're just turning our boat around now. The crew has been going. I would say there's been a good 3 minutes of racing so far. So we're off the start, and this is the point they're beginning to really sort of like find their form or find their position in this race. But that is close, isn't it?
It's close. We've got Grace O'Malley in the middle. We've got Templar this side, and we've got a red one on the far side, which I'm quickly looking down. Is it Seven Spirit, maybe?
I think, yeah, Seven Spirit, yeah, I think you're right there. We can also see Faith from Devon. They look like they're in 4th at the moment. We've got the orange boat, and is that Christine H, do we think? Or is it Shelley Maid? Shelley Maid. I think Shelley Maid looks like she could be in 5th. Maybe Morleda is in 5th there. I think at the moment, though, it looks like Templar, the crew from Teen, they're really, really beginning to push up. And we're just going to see them. I can just see this wake coming across now from the boats turning around. I'm going to be interested to see how this goes. Can Templar make the most of that? Can they use that as their moment to really sort of put the hammer down on those crews around them, because they look like they're making great progress here?
Yeah, and I think the wake will be interesting. I think those who can cope in a little bit of wake today will do better tomorrow. The forecast is for more wind tomorrow and a bit of easterly, so it get wind against tide on this nut rock. It will be a bit sloppy, so the crews that do well in that will have a bit of a benefit tomorrow, and we're expecting it to be not quite as perfect conditions as today.
Okay, so yeah, we've got Templar out in front. We've got is that Grace O'Malley in the second position. Then in the far point, we've got Seven Spirit, we can see there. Guiding Star, we could do with you getting out of our way. Is that not true?
Oh, I'm not telling Joe Babcock that. Someone else can.
Fair enough. But this Templar crew, we can see these first couple of crews here, and they are really going for it. Grace O'Malley looks like they're beginning to motor a little bit. So maybe Templar are just shortening up a little bit here?
Yeah, that's it. Lost their time in a touch, a little bit of wake though. See how they go through that. But I mean, it's nothing too serious, but it can throw you a little bit. But yeah, Grace O'Malley are hanging in there. They've dropped probably Seven Spirit, is it called? What's it called? One on the other side.
Seven Spirit, yeah, Seven Spirit.
They've dropped them a little bit. They're more in a race with Shelley Maid and Faith. But yeah, Templar are probably half a length up here, maybe a little bit more on Grace O'Malley, but we'll see. Obviously, this is the sort of point where you really got to dig in. If you've had a decent start and you've got a bit of boat run, you can't let it drop off here. This is sort of, we try and split races down into, certain points, so you've got to have a bit of a kick, sometimes worth, putting a bit of weight down here, getting the boat moving again and not relaxing too much and dying off it. You've got to keep that boat speed in these races. It's not a long race, it's a straight line, you've got to keep it going.
I'd say if I was that Cox and that Templar crew, I'd just be calling now for sort of cool heads, really focus on that length and that drive in the stroke, really just to settle down a bit. I think they can see that they're in the lead and they just are looking like they are desperate to keep it there, which I think we can all sympathise with, can't we?
I think that control call, so you can easily start throwing your bodies a bit, but then they're keeping pretty strong there and actually looking settled again.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Templar here from Teen. They are in the lead position. We have got Grace O'Malley from Affinity. They are in second. Then on the far side, we're struggling to see her a little bit, but we believe it's Seven Spirit from Portishead. We think they are in third. Then we believe we've got Shelley Maid. We're not quite sure where that club is from. Or do you think it's Faith here from Devon?
Yeah, Faith having a bit of a push, aren't they? I think that's going to be close between those two. I think Shelley Maid maybe had a better start, but Faith keeping it going, keeping it strong. Get their timing a bit better, but they're moving forward. Sorry, Karen.
We've also got Morleda and Christine H coming in the background. We've got the Newlyn boat that we're struggling with the pronunciation, but I think they're up on, they're a little bit down here on Pegasus and Goose. We've got quite an interesting fight that's happening at the back, and here Brew are just losing contact a little bit with the back of the race, but we've got Goose, Swift, Volt, they're in a good little race. And the boat on the far side, is that Iceni, I believe, the white boat?
Yeah, that's the one. I've seen it over on the far side. They got quite a long way to come in, so it'll be interesting where they're probably down on probably all of them, but Brew really from where they are. But Templar stretching it out now, nice rowing. They've got that really controlled. So much so the number two is just looking around constantly. You got it covered, mate. Just focus. They're going all right though. Then you got Grace O'Malley, who Seven Spirit having a bit of push on Grace O'Malley now. They've got to really keep the weight on, get the weight on those legs, keep their shoulders back, keep that control.
And we've also got Faith here and Shelley Maid. They really are neck and neck here. I think Faith are going to get it with the angle on the line, would be my judgment from here. But we can see Templar, they're beginning to move up now. They really have stretched away from the field here. They're beginning to move up onto Seagull Mountain. So once they're bow rower there, we're looking at about 60 strokes. We're looking at a little under 2 minutes of rowing until the end. Grace O'Malley, doing a good job there. I think they've secured second. I think that maybe Seven Spirit has left it a little late for a push here, but it could happen.
I mean, there's still ledges in. There's a fair bit of rowing left here. This is when Coxes, who aren't very good at counting, tell you you've got like 30 strokes and you've actually got about 100 left at this point. So yeah, there's a fair bit of rowing here. Anyone with a big finish, I'd say any of these crews here, from Faith could pick up that second place. Shelley Maid, Faith, Seven Spirit, Grace. If you have a real big push, not sure any of them are going to be able to do that. It's asking a lot at this point, but yeah, Seven Spirit's still there. They're hanging on to Grace O'Malley. Templar really stretching out now. They're looking pretty controlled, but there's a bit of a race on. I think Faith are the ones. I think if they could get a decent push here on the ledges in, they need a big 30 strokes. Get some boat run now if they want to do anything.
It's very close at the front here for second, between Grace O'Malley and Seven Spirit. But also, if we cast our eyes back here, we've got Volt, we've got Swift, we've got Goose, we've got the Newlyn gig that I'm struggling with the pronunciation of. They are very close as well. There is a lot of pride on the stake here for these crews. This might be their last opportunity for row for the weekend, and they want to have some bragging rights a little bit later on when they return home to their clubs.
I mean, that I said it earlier, that is the great thing about this format, is you get a good race. Whatever level you're at here, when you get seeded, you get a good race. There's almost always gigs alongside you. And, you know, some of these guys probably rode against each other in the Agnes race, and one of them might got the upper hand, and now you want to go and, you know, prove that you are the better crew. And we're getting a really nice finish. Between Grace O'Malley and Seven Spirit here, this is really close. You'd think, because Seven Spirit have pulled it back, they're the ones that are going to take this, but Grace have got to dig in now. They've got to find that water. That's it, and they're going again. Good. That's what you like to see.
I think we're seeing real power coming off those Grace O'Malley blades, which is good. They are really committed on the catch, which is great. If I was their cocks, I would just be cooling, just those shoulders back. I just saw their cocks turn around and look. No, Faith and Shelley Maid have fallen back. Don't worry, just focus your efforts on Seven Spirit. We've got about 10 strokes now for Teen to come in to win this this third heat of the men's veterans here. Their cocks is just glancing back. Don't worry, you're doing well. And you know, you can tell they're looking down the boat. They're chilled, but everything is at stake here between Grace O'Malley and Seven Spirit. Who do you think has it?
I don't know. A second ago, I thought Grace had held off Seven Spirit and they were going, but Seven Spirit had gone again. Grace are going. The line, I think, slightly favours Seven Spirit, but I think Grace O'Malley are there. It's close. This is neck and neck here. Really good racing. The timing's a bit out on the other side. I think
okay.
Grace are pulling through, but hard to see.
Yeah, okay. And sorry, that was such an engrossing race there between those two. We didn't give Templar the time they deserve, but well done, Templar. Beautifully rode. Then we got Faith and Shelley Maid, and also would like to call it between those two. We've got Morleda from Penryn. We've got Pegasus from Brixham coming in now, and it's close. We've got Christine H on the far side. There we've got Swift. I think they're slightly ahead of Goose. Then we've got the Newlyn boat, Volt. Oh, it's close between the two of them. And then Brew. And Brew've done well, actually. Really pulling it. I really thought they were dropping off the back of the heat. And it's really hard to sort of bring a crew back together when we face that. But they've pulled through Iceni, so that's great to see, isn't it?
I think with Iceni as well, they were so far out. Often when you're in a bit of a race, it's a difficult one when you've got no one alongside you. And yeah, they lost out quite a lot in the second half of that race.
Maybe they just need to have a little conversation with their cocks this evening, I think, perhaps, okay? Right, so we've got Heat 2 here. So we have got, in Berth 1, Pulpit Rock, which is Portland. Berth 2, we have got Melusin, which is Xenoboat. In 3, we've got Elowen, which is Mevagizzy. 4, Wasp, which is Yelm. 5, Azook, Hale. 6, Pentagon, which is Boscastle and Crackington. Then we've got 7, Volanti, which is Dart. We've got 8, Kenza, Mounts Bay. We have got Berth 9, Arveth, Hale. We have got Berth 10, Q, which is the River Foy. We've got Berth 11, Catalina, which is Catwater. And we've got Berth 12, Curra's Pride, Lou. So this is, we're expecting the Boscastle and Dart boats here. On the seeding, really, that's where we would expect them to be in the lead. So let's see how they've done off the start here.
Hale up front. We've got Clearwater looking really strong. I've got the wrong heat in front of me. And that's, Zook. They've done really well. So that's a Zook up front, probably a couple of lengths Clearwater, and then you've got Kenza and Pentagon having a really big race. And this is a big one. The top two in this go into the final tomorrow, so that's going to be a real race on at the minute between Pentagon and Kenza, but they've got a gig just the other side. I can't quite see. Is it Foy? Are they in this heat?
It's Curra's Pride from Lou. So we've got Azook in the lead here from Hale, and then it's Kenza and Pentagon. We couldn't call that one at the moment. It is just too close, but only half a length down, we've got Q from Foy as well. And then on the outside, a little bit out of touch now, we've got Curra's Pride and Catalina from Lou and Catwater respectively. But this is all about that race for that second position. who is going to get an opportunity to go in the final of the Vets Open tomorrow, Kenza or Pentagon? To me, Kenza looked that little bit more composed. What do you think, Joby?
Yeah, they've got in. They seem to be in a slightly better rhythm, Kenza. They're getting a bit more on the front of the stroke by the looks of it, and they're moving quite well. We're really into the finish here, so if Pentagon are looking slightly more tired, I'd say as well, but they can still do it. They're in touch. You've probably got, well, if we got 50 odd strokes left, if that, they've got to like really push now. But Azuka going to win this one, so great run from Hales, safely into tomorrow's final. Doing really good job, looking really strong, Azuka.
If I was at Kenza Cox now, my call would be shoulders back, really pushing those shoulders back, allowing that boat to maintain and keep its momentum. We can really see on the catch, the Kenza is almost moving. You know, there's a lot of effort going in there, just holding their bodies back a little bit, which would just give them the extra leg. But I think that Pentagon boat, they're just looking to tie it. I think this could be heartbreaking for them, but they could be missing out on rowing tomorrow morning in the final.
Yeah, they probably got 10 strokes if that's to really find something massive. I think Kenza have got this now. Kenza, bit more controlled, they've opened up a bit. Yeah, I think Kenza got this one. Pentagon, fair play on them, are really trying to give it a push here at the finish, but I think Kenza got it. We can't see on the line. I mean, we're sat behind him, so we're here looking like Pentagon are going, but I think Kenza got that.
Oh, it's close though. That push at the end from Pentagon. I mean, whether it was just a bit too late there, to me it felt like they raced right over the line. So we've got Q coming in fourth here to Volanti, to Wasp. We've then got, it's completely lined up here. Arveth, Catalina and Cara's Pride. Elowin as well coming racing through on the end here. Malusin. You know, those crews, I think they're probably aware that they're not. Oh, we've also got Pulpit Rock coming in here as well. The crew from Portland. So those crews at the end there, they know that they're not going to get into tomorrow morning's final, but it's pride. They want that position. They want to be able to say they're in the, you know, the top 20 in the world at pilot gig rowing, and it's fair enough, isn't it? So, would you like to take us through the runners and riders in Heat 1? This is the seeding race of the men's vets.
So, in berth 1 we have Setaweo, which is the gig from St Agnes over here in Scilly, but it's got a Helford crew in it. In number 2 we've got Energetic, which is Porthleven. Number 3 we've got Locky, which is the Appledore boat, but being rowed by Bude. Number 4 we've got Bolt, which has got Salcombe. 5 Arwennick, which is Falmouth. 6 Andowlan, which is Carradon. 7 Bedhaven, which is Bude. 8 Tregarthens, which is St Mary's. 9 Porthurst, which is St Goran. 10 Arrow, Padstow. We've got 11 Heart of Hayling, which is Langstone. And 12 Speedwell, which is a rock gig, but it's got Carradon's Vets B in it.
Okay, so Carradon look from this angle to be in a pretty dominant position over what I'm assuming is the Varnish boat from Falmouth, Arwennick. So you remember at the county championships last year, Falmouth controversially disqualified, and Carradon managing to win with both their A and their B crew, which really reflects the strength and depth that club have in its rowers. But yeah, I think we can quite clearly see it now, can't we? Okay, and Darlin is comfortably in the lead by clear water, I'd say, from Arwennick. And then can you see, Joby, who have we got in that all-important third position?
Well, it's the main guys. It's the Tregs crew, which is a mix of Scilly and Penryn stroke pair. Again, this is where we got the really different rowing styles between Falmouth and Scilly there, the Arwennick and Tregs. But yeah, it's actually quite close racing here. Carradon have only got half a length on Falmouth. Falmouth have only just got clear water on Tregarthens. Then we got a bit of a gap between Bolt and Bedhaven, which are the Bude club. They did really well in the St Agnes race. Not quite finding the same pace, but still up there in 5th place. But yes, we've got Carradon going well now. Falmouth having a little bit of a squeeze by the looks of it. Hitting a little bit of wake, followed by Tregarthens. So all going well there. So a few different styles all going on together in the Tregarthens crew.
Absolutely, but you know, that's the beauty of this. They've come together this weekend to row together. You got the brothers there, Jan and Aaron Wilkins, in the stroke seats, and you know they are having a fabulous weekend. What could they have got if they'd actually trained together, eh? They're up there, aren't they? So, but yeah, we got the Carradon crew. You know, have to congratulate them on, you know, that is some good looking rowing there, isn't it? Like that is smooth. They've got, you really see those bodies moving together. Their catches are perfect. They're really executing a clean shot stroke. Notice that their blades are really coming out the water together. That's brilliant. So we've got Carradine in the lead from Falmouth, from the Tregarthen's crew. Then we've got here Salcombe in Bolt. We've got Budehaven in 5th. I'm disappointed to see, they were my pick for this. I thought they could be up there shaking it, shaking up the order a bit for us, but in 5th at the moment. But also, maybe they're playing the strategic game. Maybe they're just keeping it quiet, and then tomorrow morning they're going to unleash. We'll wait. Maybe my brilliant. Okay, so Carradine have now won. Well done, Carradine. So they get the top seeding berth tomorrow. Then we've got Falmouth in 2nd. We've got the Tregarthen's crew in 3rd. We've got Bolt, Salcombe in 4th. We've got Budehaven in 5th. We've got the Energetic here of Porthleven. They are in 6th. We've got Arrow from Padstow on the far side there. They're in a really close tussle with Porthurst from St Goran. We've got the Heart of Hailing from Langstone on the far side there, and then we've got Lockie here. So it's looking to me like the 2 crews which aren't going to make it into the final tomorrow. Esatueo, which is, you're going to have to remind me, is that the Helford crew? It's Helford, yeah. Brilliant, thank you. And then we've got Speedwell. So a little bit heartbreaking for those 2 crews, is it not, Joby?
Yeah, not making it, unfortunately, those 2, but yeah, it was a quick race there, some really, really good rowing in that. You got some crews that would feature pretty high in the open, I think, if they were entered into that as well there.
So now we are moving to the next gold medal race for this afternoon. Oh, apologies, I was getting ahead of myself. I missed the Super Vets, how could I? Right, okay, so we have got 2 heats of the Super Vets before we move on to the Masters this afternoon, which is our last gold medal event of the day. So we have Heat 2 here. In berth 1 we have Ralph Bird, which is Porthgain. In berth 2 Gibraltar, which is RM Tamar. Berth 3 Cobra, Calstock. Berth 4 Golden Gear, UCSC. Berth 5 Double Dutch, which is one of our Dutch crews. Berth 6 Jeanette, Tamar and Tavy. Berth 7 St Elvin, Porthleven. Berth 8 Govneck, Hotel Key. Berth 9 Henry Smarden, New Haven. Berth 10 Cockleshell, which is Royal Marines Association. We got Gannel Maid in 11, which is from Crantic. We've got Epic Energy from Epic Gigability in 12th. We've got the Star of Northey in 13th, which is a Langstone boat. And then we've got Irene, berth 14, and that is the Lewis crew. So we are moving our way back here. So only 2 heats here. So the top 2?
Yeah, it's all on for the top 2 again. They want to get into the final tomorrow. It'll be interesting, so I think there could be potentially quite a spread in these gigs with only 2 heats, and there's a couple of quite quick ones in there, so we'll see where they're at. Who finished in the middle of this one? We're looking at the likes of Porthleven, Tamar Tavy, Cotil Key are the ones you'd expect on St Agnes to be up there in this one.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, totally agree. We've also got a group of Helford. Who are Helford out here to support, we think, this afternoon? Or do we think they're waiting for the Masters event to come in and see their Masters come through? Oh, okay, we're told that it's George's Stag Do. There we go. So George's Stag Do's out here enjoying the rowing. I think they're going to probably be waiting for the Masters to give them a shout in.
You can tell they're from Helford in the type of boat they're in. It would be some punt if it was someone from Scilly. They've got quite a smart boat there.
Quite a smart boat. That's Toby Budd in that boat. He'll be very proud you said that. Toby Budd. So here we go. Okay, so we're coming around now. We have got Heat 2. So, Joby, can we make any sense of this yet? Can we see what's going on?
We have got Porthleven out in front in St Elvin by the looks of it. And then we've got Jeanette this side. So sort of what we expected from the St Agnes race. Yeah, quite a good race there between Porthleven and Tamar Tavy. And then we've got Varnishgig on the other side, which can't quite make out.
Irene? No, it's not Irene. Sorry, it is.
again?
Gavenik, brilliant. Thank you, Jay. Saved us there. So yeah, we got Jeanette and St Elvin. So top two goes through to the final tomorrow morning. So it's everything to play for these top two, for these three crews that we're seeing at the front here.
It's very much following where they were in St Agnes. I think the top four in this heat from St Agnes are the top four here. We've got Double Dutch in fourth, but Jeanette having now a bit of a push. St Elvin had the better start, but Tamar Tavy going through, which is good. They'll both want to finish top two, but yeah, a bit of pride in winning the race as well, isn't it? So, and Gavenik aren't too far behind. So, yeah, big push now. Jeanette are really working hard at this part of the race. We're coming up to the finish here, coming up to the ledges, big push. Can Port 11 go with them?
It's amazing, literally 6 strokes, and they've just pulled
right
through them.
Yeah, Jay's just made a really good point. 6 strokes, and that Tamar Tavy crew has really, really moved. But also, I think maybe St Elvin, looking at where Gavenik are behind them, are knowing that tomorrow morning is the race for them. That's when they want to push into that top 10. So maybe they're thinking, yeah, all right, Tamar Tavy, we'll let you go now, but tomorrow morning, race on. We will see. Just a little further back, we've got Double Dutch, the teen crew. I would say they're about 2 to 3 boat lengths back. Maybe they've just lost contact with this front group, but they're kind of in a little bit of no man's land. And then we're sort of falling back to Henry Smarden there, who is leading this pack of Golden Gear, the Daedalus. They're sort of. Again, this is a moment of pride for these crews. They want to make sure they can get the highest position.
I'm going with that. That's fine.
He's not bothered. He's just slowing in, slightly disgruntled, but there we go. So yeah, Jeanette, Tamar Tavy really pushing this in now. They're really going for that reach actually, which is quite interesting. Whereas the St Elvin boat, it's a little punchier at the end of the strokes, really pushing out quite nice and clean there. I would just say to that Jeanette crew, just really watch blade angles there. Just really make sure we're being as efficient. They're giving themselves quite a lot to do as the blade digs into the water there. Again, yeah. Port 11 are beginning to push up now. So what do you think? Can Port 11 do this?
No.
Come on, Jamie. We're trying to bring energy.
They've probably got enough. They don't need to. They don't need to in this race, to be fair.
That's a fair point.
They're the top two here. I probably wouldn't kill myself when you've got that gap, but it's easier said than done sometimes, isn't it, when you've got a boat alongside you.
Yeah, we've got 20 strokes.
It'll be a big jump. They're a length down, so, and I think Jeanette have held the push and have gone again, if anything.
Yeah, they're pushing again. You can hear the Cox. The Cox is maybe, not thinking of tomorrow right now. He is. We can hear him quite clearly. He is flogging that crew. 10 strokes to go.
I think that might be their rowers, not their cocks, to be fair. I'll put energy into your oar. It's a stroke paddle. Throwing loads of water.
Wow, maybe, yeah.
now something's happened. I think they're there. They've done it.
Yeah, well done, Jeanette. Well done, St Evan. We're very much looking forward to seeing you racing tomorrow morning.
Gavenik, unfortunately, just missing out there. They're coming through in
third.
Followed by Double Dutch, who are having a bit of a race on their own, really, here. Double Dutch, they've probably got 3 lengths behind Gavenik and more than that in front of Henry Smarden, so good row for those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely to see. This is one of the Dutch crews that's over here this weekend. Fabulous effort. It's quite the journey over from Holland, so well done to anyone who's doing it. Right, Golden Gear and Henry Smarden, this is go for it. I mean, it looks like to me like Golden Gear have got the better of them, but it's getting pretty frantic in that boat.
Yeah, that's it. It's
that's a whizzy one. That's unfortunate. They've clashed. They've clashed. Okay, so we're really hoping they get apart quickly. It looks like Golden Gear.
I think both coxes look at each other. They've both got all the water in the world either side of them. So I don't think either of them can blame the other one too much on that. They're both at fault.
How can you clash on a straight race?
Yeah.
How can you clash on a straight race? It has been done, as we've just seen. So we've got Cobra, we've got Cockleshell here, we've got Ganel Maid, the crew from Crantock. So lovely to see them here. We've got the Ralph Bird just coming in, and sorry, we just got a little bit of traffic here, so I'm struggling to see the other boats. But we've got Gibraltar leading Star of Northey, and then we've got the Irene and Epic Energy coming in at the end here.
And we're going to be straight into the next heat, who have nearly caught up with the back of this one.
So this is Heat 1 of men's super vets. We've got Clevedon and Blackbird, we've got Torrent and Boscastle and Crackington, we've got Sulcombe and Cadmus, we've got Appledore in Whitford, we've got Dart and Lightning, we've got Carradon and Amazon, we've got Rosen and Polvarth, we've got Falmouth and Governor, Brixham and Florence, Mounts Bay and Isis, we've got St Ives in Fortitude, and we've got Bristol and Mischief. Right, tell us what's going on.
Well, probably maybe as expected again based on St Agnes. We've got Carradon out front who are doing really well in these age group. Well, we are now super vets. Did well in the vets, well in the super vets. We've got Carradon out front, about half a length in front of Polvarth, which is Roseland doing well.
Polvarth look chilled to me though. Yeah. They don't. I think they're thinking strategically there.
Rosen do row a bit like that as well. I'm not sure they'd be 100% sure, but I think you can save a bit. They're pretty safe, aren't they? Dart and Lightning who rode well in St Agnes as well. Similar spot again here, rowing well. Then we've got Whitford, which is Appledore.
Yes, Appledore. We've got Governor from Falmouth, and we've got Florence, who is from Brixham there. But again, if I was a Cox here, I mean, you can kind of tell from their body language, and maybe they're thinking this. It's just you got race tomorrow morning. Yeah. It's all right, okay. But coming up behind, we've got the more interesting dynamic going on here, which is who's going to get those final places. So well done, Carradon. Carradon across the line. Roseland in second. We've got Lightning in third. So everything to play for here for those last. You do not want to be second in this nut rock race, do you? Second to last or last, because unfortunately then your weekend's rowing is over. So it's all to play for. Ictus, they look safe to me, as do Torrent.
We've got actually, it's somebody's 50th birthday, so he just qualified. I've been told it's a short guy from St Just, Mike Ellis, his 50th birthday today in Ictus. So
happy 50th birthday. So you're through, you've got more rowing to do tonight, so not too much celebrating, okay? So we've got Torrent here, we've got Cadmus, and then at the back here, it's close between Mischief, Fortitude and Blackbird. I think it's going to be definitely Blackbird, I would suggest, and then I would say maybe Mischief for dropping out.
Yeah, Mischief difficult to see on the line, but yeah, Blackbird unfortunately have dropped out, and one of Fortitude or Mischief, depending on where the line was. That was quite tight.
Fortitude stopped rowing earlier than Mischief, so either maybe they can see the line better than us, or that might again, you might have questions for your Cox. I'm not sure. No judgment. Right, so we are winging our way back to the last race of the day, which is the Open Masters Final. So this is our second gold medal event today. So Falmouth took the first gold medal of World Pilot Gig Championships with the Masters women. And now we are into the final of the men's Masters. We have 2 heats for this. So if you would like me, please, this is... Okay, so are we going with these guys? Is this the first heat coming through? Are you alright if I read these? Okay. That's alright, it's okay, I can read it, don't worry. Right, okay, so here we go. We've got Ross Carrick from Port Isaac in berth 2. We've got Minadoo from Rame in berth 3. We've got Penarrow from Flushing and Milet in berth 4. We've got Hurricane, Bishop Stortford in berth 5. We've got Beacon in berth 6, which is Bridport. We've got Mora in berth 7, that's Coverack. We've got 8, which is, I'm not great at pronouncing that one actually. Can you pronounce that for me? Rapparee, thank you, Joby. Tamar Tavy. We've got Nipper from Barnstable, and we've got Phantom from Norfolk. No, definitely Nipper. We're really working there on my pronunciation. Right. Okay. So this is the second. This is the second heat. There were just 5 crews in the men's Masters last year, so it really is brilliant for us to see in this final the fact that we've got enough crews for not 1 but 2 heats.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big increase.
And it's great to see out front, and really quite a commanding lead here. We've got Beacon from Bridport, from Morva from Coverack. So this heat of the Masters, I think Beacon, well done. They've pulled out a good 2 or 3 lengths there off the Coverack crew. I'm struggling a little bit with the sun hitting that varnished boat. What do we think that varnished boat was back there? And they're in third. Hurricane, brilliant. Yeah, so we've got Hurricane in third there. And then on the outside, we've got Nipper, the red boat, and then you can see the Flushing and Miler boat as well. They're coming in 5th here. So Beacon, this Masters crew, so Masters and gig rowing is over 60 years old. So this is the Open men Masters category and Beacon, they're coming. They're doing really well here. This is for 13th position overall in the competition. And seeing as we had, just 5 crews entering the Masters this year, it's really encouraging to see more crews coming and joining the fun this year. What would you like to say, Joby?
I haven't got an awful lot to say. I'm just looking at some of the crews. I think Mora, I'm looking at Jay. Is that where Dave Jane's rowing and Mora, is he?
Yes, he is, yeah.
Is he? So
He's stroking at the moment, I can see that.
Oh.
I think it's him stroking.
Oh yeah, that windmilling, yeah, that looks like Dave, yeah. Yeah.
Very, he said it. Joby said it, not us. Okay, so yeah, we got Beacon in the lead here. They're hitting a little bit wake there, but it's not causing them any problems. And then we got more of the Kovrak crew. This has quite quickly become quite spaced out. It's quite often difficult to race in these sorts of situations. If you're Beacon, it's happy days. You're just cruising in there. Maybe they didn't have the easiest of St Agnes races this morning, and they found themselves a little bit out of position. But more, they're a good, I would say, length or so up on Hurricane, which is really encouraging to see. Again, for these guys, it's just bringing it home. So they're more wanting to maintain that 14th position. We've got Hurricane coming in 15th here, if my maths is correct, and then we can see Nipper on the outside there. They're going to be 16th overall. Okay, we've got Rapparee back a little bit further. I think they're looking at being 17th, and then we've got the Penarrow boat of Flushing and Myler, and they're in quite a tussle with another crew. So we've got 10 strokes left here for Beacon. This is for them to secure 13th in the World Pilot Gig Championships, and they really are rowing beautifully there. Well done, Bridport. Excellent, really commanding row here this afternoon. More. From Kovrak, they're coming in here quite, yeah, there we go, brilliant, well done Bridport, over the line. Mora from Kovrak, they're here to come second in this race, but that will give them 14th in the overall standings. Hurricane, similarly, they're going to go for 15th here. I think it's going to be Nipper in 16th, Rapparee in 17th, then we've got the Penarrow boat from Flushing and Myler, and then we have got Minadu at the back there, followed by another a Burgundy boat, which I can't quite make out.
Cox is making them work hard for the last few strokes, isn't he?
Absolutely, look at them, great straight arm catches though. Okay, so Masters Championships at Paignton is becoming increasingly popular, which is great to see. Carradine won there in August last year, Falmouth were second and Swanage were third. So what can happen here this afternoon? We have, in this final heat, we have Morgul from Helford in berth 1. We have Endurance from Torridge in berth 2. We have Shocking which is the Dutch boat in berth 3. We have Windsprit from Swanage in berth 4. We have Voos from Helford in berth 5, and Glanville from Carradine in berth 6. Ammonite from Lyme Regis in berth 7, Black Rock from Falmouth in berth 8, Zorn from Flushing and Myler in berth 9. Just looking up, seeing Phantom heading towards the line there, maybe sort of 20 strokes to go, and we've also got Ross Carrick here from Port Isaac. Lovely to see them out this afternoon, and hope they've enjoyed their weekend's rowing. We also have Appledore in the final, rowing Len Spirit, and we have River Teen rowing Teen Spirit in berth 12, and we have Western Spirit in berth 12, and that is Clevedon. So we are now looping back to look at this Masters final. So can Carradine do it again? What's it looking like?
Well, they're up there at the minute. I mean, Carradine are impressive in every category. They're there. Sorry, just falling over and turning around. I think from St Agnes here we had Carradine from Lyme Regis from Helford. So are we looking there at the minute? We've got Carradine from Falmouth and Lyme Regis probably alongside each other, and Helford in Voos in their new boat just behind that. So good racing here. Looks like Carradine have got it. They're on the finish now. Ledges in, looking strong. Then we're going to have, there's a good race then between Falmouth and somebody that's behind the Guiding Star, Lyme Regis, yeah, that's it, and Helford just behind them. So some good rowing happening here. Second place is definitely up for grabs. I think Carradine are looking really strong there up front. And then we've got a really good battle between Falmouth and Lyme Regis actually for the second place. And then Helford and Voos in fourth. Then we've got Winspit. We've got another Helford boat, is it? No, what am I looking at there?
We've got Morgul.
Oh, Morgul, yeah. Then we've got Teen Spirit, Shocking, Lem White. Oh, we've got one this side as well. I can't quite make out the name. Got lots of spirits, haven't we?
Will to win, is that?
That was
Will to win. Okay, do you want me to? Okay, I'd just like to draw your attention to this Caradon boat now. Let's watch them over the line. So this is a commanding victory from Caradon's Open Masters category. And that is really quite some rowing that we're seeing here from Caradon. I think they're getting a little excited, but they were really together. It was really good. So this crew is Leanne Woodward coxing. We have Martin Langdon, Neville Grigg, Phil Osmond, Rob Hurl, Stephen Knight and Julius Newman. Well done. And a superb, commanding victory in the Masters. Second place, who are we going to call this to? Are we going to call it to Black Rock? Are we going to call it to Lyme? Oh, I'm not sure who I can call that with. We think it was Falmouth, but we're not confident in that. Voos, though, we're confident that they've got the fourth position. Winsprit fifth. Well done. Then we've got the Helford crew on the outside here. Morgul. Brilliant, really nice. And we've got Shocking here, the Dutch crew. We've got Endurance coming in here, Teen Spirit from Teen on the outside. We've got Len Wright from Appledore in a real tussle here with Zorn from Flushing and Myler. That Zorn crew is really putting the weight down, and that two-rower,
come on the haircut.
Yeah, he still is the prize winner for the haircut, bringing it in the Masters categories. Then we've got Western Spirit as well. Well done, excellent row, really close rowing. There wasn't, a big time difference there between the first boat and the last boat. So we're going to do our best to get alongside the Caradon crew. Lovely to see their arms, their oars aloft there in the middle of the boat. So this is it. We've got one apiece. Caradon and Falmouth have won the Masters categories. Let's see if this continues.
Hopefully that's it for those two clubs for this champs.
Is that enough? We've got a few head shakes in the boat.
Some people agreeing.
Some people are rolling their eyes. They can't help it. They train hard. No, but it was brilliant, and it's awesome to see people like Martin Langdon in that Caradon boat. I think there isn't a rowing competition I think he's missed in the last 20 years. So all credit, and it's lovely to see these crews here as well. They're sort of cheering at each other. They're clapping at each other. They might have been mortal enemies on the water 30 seconds ago, but they're here now, like just basking in their enjoyment of their sport, which is just it's just lovely to see. And at the end of the day, that's what the World Pilot Gig Championships is all about. The thing that kind of makes this event special is you can't get away from it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. I think I'm obviously biased coming from Scilly, but I think this is a great thing. Everyone's here. You've got to row. It's all about rowing this weekend. There's racing for everyone. Yeah, and this is where gigs are from, isn't it?
It is indeed. Yeah, absolutely. There, I think if there's someone from Newquay here, they might have a few issues with that. But
we're friendly enough with Newquay.
Okay, fair enough. So we're doing our best here to get alongside the Anne Glanville, coxed by Leanne Woodward. Leanne Woodward. Her daughter Naomi, their dad Steve, they're absolute sort of central figures to the Caradon Gig Club. Big part of what makes all of these clubs successful is people such as the Kent family who really put their time and effort into not only their own rowing but also supporting the rowing of others. So I doff my cap to you guys. You do a superb job, and it's lovely to see you rowing so well. We've got the boat here, Voos. This is the new boat from Helford. I think Helford's best chance at a medal is possibly in the women's.
I think that the women's A look really strong, brand new boat as well. I think you maybe know a little bit more than that than me, but they're looking really good. The men's crew will be, I'd imagine, in Group A again. I'm not sure they'll be right up there, but the women's I think are probably where Helford are really looking for a good result. Yeah,
I think the men have a lot of potential with Helford as well. I mean, I think they could be maybe our sort of they would if you did betting and if we encouraged it in gig rowing, then they could be the outside bet to get onto the podium. But here we go. So I called it wrong. Steve Kent is in the middle of this boat actually. I think Clay, your list might be on. Brilliant. Right, come here. Well done, Carradine. So, Steve, how many medals has Karen Bestweather got to get to beat you now? Because she wants to know. It will take him a while. Oh, just fantastic. Well done. Talk us through that race. Pretty commanding from the start, was it not? Yeah. They're saying they got a good start, which is great to see. And, honestly, guys, you were a complete class act. That looked superb. So well done. Real strength and depth, as always. And, beautiful to see. All right. Well done. Enjoy some well-earned rest this weekend. Or how many of you are coxing and rowing? Oh, they're all rowing. Of course, they love rowing. Why wouldn't they? Well done. Superb race, as ever. And, enjoy this one. We're very much looking forward to seeing your celebrations on Sunday night. All right, thank you. Yeah, lovely to see there. So Steve Kent there in the middle of the boat that I mentioned earlier. I apologise for getting the names a little bit wrong there, Carradine. We do try. I was wondering where Steve was, stalwart of the Carradine crew. I couldn't believe he wouldn't have been in there. But yeah, lovely to see that on this beautiful afternoon. So that's it from us today, isn't it, Joby?
Yeah, that was good. Good first day's racing. I think the weather might be slightly different tomorrow, and I've got to try and hide because I'm meant to be rowing and coxing, I think, tomorrow. So I think that's me signing out for the weekend. But thanks for everyone today.
And what do we think? What are our picks tomorrow morning for the veterans then? Who are we expecting to take those finals first thing tomorrow morning?
I'm coming this way. Turn around. Looking that way. I don't know. The men's, I think, is going to be an interesting one. You'd say, sorry, I'm a bit closer. You'd say Carradine, based on where they were at, but Falmouth are going to be in it. That mixed-up crew from Scilly are in the mix. I think they'd be delighted with a third, to be fair on them. But yeah, Falmouth, Carradine for that one. In the women's, what did you think on that?
Women's, I'm not sure. We'll have to see that one, to be honest. Blackrock, pretty commanding from Falmouth, if I'm honest. They've got a lot of experience in that boat. They won it last year. They're on a little bit of a roll. I think they're gonna. Obviously, I could be called bias here, but I think
I'm only asking you because Scilly are the other ones that could be in the mix. And I think Falmouth have looked really strong. But it'd be good. Tomorrow it is a sprint. You have a good start, get in there, you get a bit of wake in some of these, it makes a difference. Weather's going to be a bit different tomorrow. I think they experience enough crews to deal with rough weather as well. I don't think it's going to say Scilly are going to do better or Falmouth are going to do. They've all rowed in every type of weather probably, but that'll be an interesting one as well.
And then in terms of the open competition as well, women, who are we thinking?
My picks will be Helford for the women. I think they just look really strong. I think Foy have changed their crew a fair bit as well. I think it'll be tough for Foy. I think with the way Helford are rowing, brand new gig, good crew, some very good rowers in there. I couldn't look past them for that. In the men's, it's interesting. Falmouth had a bit of a late change with an injury. Lou have looked really strong again this year. I would have thought Lou. I think my picks would be Helford and Lou, but
I think Lou, they are so good at peaking for this event, and this is their way. You quite often, Falmouth beat them quite convincingly at Three Rivers. That was unfortunately before they had to have a crew change. One of their rowers has become injured. But, it was nip and tuck at Mini Scillies between the two of them. I would say Lou was in the slower boat, though. Yeah. They weren't racing a race gig, whereas Falmouth were. And I think Lou were just so good at peaking for this event. You struggle with the form that Lou have had in the last couple of years. It's hard to look past.
Yeah, that's it. I think both been really successful clubs, haven't they? I think it's those two really in the mix. Carradine Crew's a bit of change as well. They could be up there in the men's. There's a few others that could be in the mix, but I don't think you can look past those. So I think it's Falmouth or Lou shootout really again. Last year there was half a foot in it, if that. So it'd be great for spectators if we got someone in like that. I don't.
You watching that was just yeah. We've also got Super Vets tomorrow morning as well. So what are we thinking about Super Vets? I think again, are they going to get the Masters? Are they going to get the Masters Vets, Super Vets clean sweep? Carradon men, can they do it?
If they do, they need to find some younger rowers, Carradon, don't they? They can't just win every age group. We can't have next year 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds, Steve Kent 120 winning more. No.
I think I have faith in Steve Kent. We believe. I think he could do it if anyone could. And then in the women's Super Vets. Who
did we have up there in the women's super? We had so many races in the last couple of hours. Who was that? Solcombe. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
And could that teen boat? They've been switching positions. So we've had, was it Bolt was first, wasn't it? And then Teen Spirit and St Agnes, and they switched over for the heat. So again, are they just playing a strategic game? Have we got more to go there?
Do you know what? Teen are one of the ones worth talking about, because we were talking about a lot of the Cornwall crews, and we know it well, and they're obviously finished up there. But Teen, they've got a brand new boat. I think it's Patrick Bird boat that come out this year. She looks quite quick. Their men were rowing really well as well earlier in the year. It could be an interesting one to watch, Teen, in the open as well as that.
Yeah, they've got strength and depth, and I think we talked about this earlier. We were talking about like why some of these clubs are more dominant, and we were talking about the fact that actually access to water, places like the likes of like Helford row out of, like they've got really good water. They can train in a lot, and Teen benefit from that as well. Yeah. So they put the winter miles in. And they've been a club that's been around a long time as well. So they've got rowers there. They've probably been there. They've been in finals, that sort of thing. It does it where some of the newer clubs maybe struggle a bit more without that. That core of rowers that have been up there and doing it, and but you've seen a few of the Devon clubs. We've seen Ilfracombe do well, we've seen Dart do well, Appledore do well. I think Teen this year with a new boat could be in the mix in a few of them. So yeah, it should be good, but I don't think we're going to see anything too different on the open side of things. No, okay. Well, we really look forward to it. The weather shifts tomorrow, and that's always the interesting dynamic, how crews cope with it. But we just want to run through with you the lineup for tomorrow. So 8:30 we get involved early morning with the Cox's meeting. Can we just make sure everyone's there promptly? That would be great. 10 a.m. The Nut Rock Women's Vets Final, and then 10:10 we've got the Nut Rock Women's Super Vets Final. Then 11 a.m. we've got the Nut Rock Open Vets Final, and 11:10 we've got the Nut Rock Open Super Vets Final. So we've got 4 gold medals up for grabs first thing tomorrow morning. We're going to get that all done by midday. Then 12:30 we've got St Agnes. We've got the seeding race tomorrow morning, women's round 1. Then at 2 p.m. we have got the open competition. Then we've got 3:15, we have got round 2 of the Nut Rock women's race. So those are the heats. That is the first one of 2 heats before we have the final on Sunday afternoon. And then at 5 o'clock we've got the open round 2 Nut Rock races, heats. We go again. So big day. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care.